it's really easy to get caught up in the technology aspect of digital transformation and everything that's happening on a day-to-day basis. I don't think that technology is necessarily the competitive advantage anymore. I think that adoption is, I think that execution is, I think that customer understanding is, and I think that the organizations that leverage emerging technology to create a better customer experience is going to be the customer, or I think that it's going to be the competitive advantage, of tomorrow.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Executive Intelligence, where business leadership meets artificial intelligence. I'm your host, Dagen Davis, and today we have Kelly Massad. He is the co founder and chief executive officer for Mainstay Digital. Kelly, thanks for joining us.
Dagan, appreciate you having me, man.
Awesome. Well, we'll go right into it here. And
Yeah.
really, the first thing that everyone wants to know is who are you and what do you do?
So, Dayan, my name is Kelly Massad. You said I'm the CEO and co-founder of Mainstay Digital. You got that right on. I lead Mainstay Digital, which is a 3D product visualization studio. We effectively, at the end of the day, help companies kind of bridge the gap between what customers see and what they understand. We're using technologies like 3D product visualization, spatial computing, AI, um, all with the intent to remove uncertainty and increase confidence in manufactured physical products for B2B. We found that when confidence goes up, friction goes down, and better businesses, uh, their outcomes kind of flow from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I've looked at some of your some of your 3D videos and augmented reality and just everything looks really cool. Do you guys work with any industry?
Yeah, definitely. So we primarily focus on industrial automation, robotics, manufacturing. We have several clients that are in the medical devices place, or in the medical devices industry. Um, Really, if you're doing any type of warehouse automation or manufacturing automation, we play in that space, and that's literally the only place that we specialize in. We've kind of narrowed it down to that niche because we're really good at telling those stories for B2B buyers, and that's traditionally where we focus, and we really don't deviate from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And then how did you get started with Mainstay?
Yeah, so my co-founder Ben Maitland, he's the founder of Market Scale out here in Dallas. They do user-generated content. I spent most of my career in management consulting, and he's always been a mentor of mine. So he asked me if I would help him out on the agency side of things. So much like what you're doing today with this podcast and really thought leadership and stuff like that. That's what they focus on. And the agency side wasn't really a part of their core competency. So he wanted to bring me in. And as a guy that's been in these Fortune 500 companies and helping them lead digital transformation efforts, he was like, "Hey, can you put together a website and custom software development for me, for my clients rather?" So made the leap, bet on myself. Here we are, 4.5 years later, and kind of just diving into the spatial computing game because emerging technology was something that was always within my purview, always something that like really interested me. So we found a niche, we honed in on it, and here we are.
Yeah, this is really cool. Being a video guy to see the 3D videos and everything and the interactive videos of it all. It's not just, a set video. You can click on buttons and you can interact with it and you can see how things work. And I can see, being in sales in the past, how that can really, really help you not after you've been in front of the customer, be able to share that with them without having the actual product right there. So why are, and this is kind of, you know, a non-traditional way to market or promote or sell, why are companies starting to switch to something like this as opposed to the traditional ways?
Yeah. So, we found that every sale really has friction. And this is, you know, pretty pervasive in the manufacturing industry. Um, Customers hate or they hesitate to purchase things because they're really uncertain of what the product actually is. They can't touch it, they can't visualize it, they can't picture themselves, using it. Whereas the service that we provide allows customers to ship effectively their product in milliseconds from the warehouse to the prospect, and it gives them the ability to interact with it in a way that's so immersive that you haven't been able to do in the past. People really focus on the technology itself, but we're really focused on what it means for people, right? I think that really every transformative technology really goes through a phase where people describe the technology itself. So, people go out there and they talk about spatial computing as if executives care, or they can grasp it or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's just technology. We're really helping companies go through a phase where they describe their technology and make it more immersive. I think that a lot of people get kind of caught up in trying to focus on the technology itself. For instance, I mean, like, something that we do, a lot, or things that I talk about a lot, uh, really has to do with cars being horseless carriages back in the day, right? Television was effectively radio with pictures. Early websites were really digital brochures. I think eventually the technology disappears, and all that remains really is the experience. And I think spatial computing is really approaching that point. I don't think that the future is immersive technology or anything in that regard. I think it's just better customer experiences at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think, the best way to sell is really put that person through the experience, especially the experience that they're trying to buy
Right,
or interested in buying. So, the more you can do that, you know, the better off you are, and the easier it makes the sale and makes the decision.
right.
So you've been mentioning spatial computing. Most executives understand AI because it's just out there. There's so many videos. There's so much content about it. We have a podcast about talking about AI, and so far fewer executives actually understand spatial computing, like you mentioned. And
Yeah.
so, what is it, and why should business leaders actually care about it?
It's kind of funny because I rarely lead with the technology itself. I kind of answered that question just because you asked about it. But at the end of the day, it's really about consumer behavior, right? Um, I don't think that the question necessarily is what is spatial computing. I think that reframed, it's more along the lines of, like, what can a customer experience? What's possible because of uh, because of the technology. And I think that the technology becomes easier to understand whenever you start thinking about, um, what it unlocks for you. Again, I'll go back to transporting your product from your warehouse to a QR code that you can launch anywhere at any time. For example, right? If you wanted to explore this case erector, all you'd have to do is scan this QR code and you launch it in your space. It's I could talk about spatial computing and what that unlocks, but I think that the the root of what we're talking about here is, what does that unlock for the user themselves? Spatial computing is effectively 3D. you think of video game, right? So you're hopping into a video game. It's super immersive. You can interact with that space. Um, and then now they're talking about VR goggles and everything like that, and what in the experiences that unlocks. Um, but I think that the if you get to the core of what we're talking about here, it's what it unlocks for for your sales enablement, right? What it unlocks for HR onboarding and training. What it unlocks for marketing and trade shows, experiential events, stuff like that. I think that that's where executives should be focused on as far as why they should care. Hope that
And
makes
is
sense.
there a specific use case with this technology that is becoming more and more popular?
Yeah, I mean, so like, everybody's talking about augmented reality, again, being able to ship your product from where I'm at to where you're at, just being able to launch it, experience it like you would in a typical demo. A lot of our clients will, in order to even get a PO signed, they'll fly the customer out to their facility, see it in person, walk around the facility, walk around the product itself, see the exact same thing that we can replicate with a digital twin. Again, sending it to them, instantaneously. Uh, same thing with interactive 3D. I think that being able to click around and explore a product and its features, you know, based upon what it is that you want to understand at that specific time, is incredibly powerful. Of course, we do, the product stills, and the traditional video, as a part of product launches, training videos, installation videos, that type of stuff. Um, that's all traditional stuff that I think is still absolutely prevalent, but I think that people are getting smarter and smarter about the ways that they approach their prospects, um, through use of immersive tools like the ones that we're building out each and every day, paired up with some of the AI as well.
Yeah, and that's great. And so that's a great segue into our commercial break. And when we come back, we will talk about how it's being immersed with AI. Hi, everybody. Dagen here. If you're seeing me talking to you right now, that means that this commercial ad spot is vacant and it's available for your company in your area. It will only show to your area. So please contact us today at dagenmedia.com if you're interested in becoming a sponsor. All right, and we're back to our episode of Executive Intelligence with Kelly Massad. Kelly, we really kind of left everyone on a cliffhanger there about talking about AI when we come back. So we better
Yeah,
get to that.
yeah.
So we'll circle around to that now. Where are you seeing AI with what you're doing? How are you using it? And what's exciting about it?
Yeah, beyond the obvious as far as like, using it to build out our platform, bolstering the platform and stuff like that. Beyond the day-to-day commercial activities that we leverage AI for, and I think that, most probably should if you haven't already. Um, it's enabling us to, again, understand the buyer even better than before. Companies are coming to us for, the sales enablement piece of what Mainstay Digital can provide, and we're creating experiences based upon each one of the prospects that they approach on a day-to-day basis. I'll give you an example, right? So, you know, in the case of Pearson Packaging, just imagine that they're going to an Amazon warehouse or something like that. Being able to pitch Amazon on their products and services just based upon an AI's understanding of the prospect's business, we can take traditional marketing material that that you've already curated and tailor it to your prospect for a tailored version of that same experience with very low effort. So now we're, tailoring each one of these experiences that have already been curated by our clients, and then tailoring them to every single prospect that they have throughout the day, almost instantaneously. You just imagine how incredibly powerful that is, from going from a static brochure that has your stats and descriptions and specs of the products that you're taking to market, and then being able to tailor that to your prospect, saying, "Hey, you can use it for this. Hey, you can use it for this. Hey, you can use it for this." And, oh, by the way, based upon the volume that we have anticipated that you're doing, you know you could save this much, right? So coming to them with data backed metrics that they can say yes to more easily, and understand what they're getting themselves into, not only creates a smarter buying experience, but it also creates a smarter customer that they can act on and take to their leadership and say, "Hey, these are the metrics that we think that we can hit, just based upon the client, based upon the vendor that we're talking to." um, what kind of intelligence are you seeing in the market that can compete with that at this point? I mean, that's I hate to use game changer because it's so overused as an AI term, but I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. It's transformative.
So where does Mainstay Digital come in this process? Is the client coming with this information, this data, or are you helping them dig that
No,
data
it's
up?
already built into our platform. So,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. So you come to us with your product. We're building out the experience. Based upon your product, your product features and benefits, your specs, and then we leverage AI on our side in the platform itself to tailor that experience again instantaneously. So it's something as easy as typing in a URL for your prospect, and then all that information changing on the fly for that prospect. So you could be prepping for your meeting 30 minutes from now, and then just saying, "Hey, we're pitching this company in 30 minutes. Change all the information to
And
tailor it."
that changes on the fly within your solutions?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool.
Thanks. I
That's
appreciate
really cool. So
that.
you can have sales reps that are traveling to the next meeting and just put that into your platform and it's ready to
Exactly.
go by the time they arrive.
That's that. Yeah.
Wow,
Exactly.
that's yeah, that's really cool. That's
Thank you.
that is a game
Beyond it
changer.
being cool, I love hearing that our product is cool. I love hearing that, but it's useful, right? And it's something that's going to be a mainstay here in the future.
Are there any other ways that you're using AI in the
Yeah, I
company?
mean, like I said, day-to-day commercial activities, creating platform features, weekly, really. We are deep down the AI rabbit hole. I'm living in the matrix, Dagen, on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's really cool that you guys took the extra step. You don't just build a solution that's for example, cookie cutter solution, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's not just this thing that a whole industry uses. It's not even customized to just the customer. It's customized to the customer's customer
yeah,
or potential customer, right? So that,
right.
I mean, that goes the extra mile, and that's awesome that you guys are utilizing AI to the highest degree possible that I could even think of. Coming into this, I had no idea that you guys did something like that to that degree with AI. So this was kind of perfect. Um, Kelly, I know we're running out of some time here. I always give someone at the end of the podcast to promote or put out whatever they want to put out about their company or themselves. So now's the time. What do you got for us?
I hate to turn this into a sales pitch, so I'm gonna just kind of keep on harping on the things that I've been harping on. I think that people, it's really easy to get caught up in the technology aspect of digital transformation and everything that's happening on a day-to-day basis. Um, I don't think that technology is necessarily the competitive advantage anymore. I think that adoption is. I think that execution is. I think that customer understanding is, and I think that the organizations that leverage emerging technology to create a better customer experience is going to be the customer, or I think that it's going to be the competitive advantage, of tomorrow. Uh, I will say that companies like company like companies like Apple, for instance, I mean, they don't lead with specs, right? They've got an 8-core processor, a neural engine, memory bandwidth. They're telling their customers at the end of the day, do you want to shoot a Hollywood quality film on your phone, or are you trying to buy this hardware, right? They don't focus on the hardware itself. They focus really on the outcome. And I think that the at the end of the day, if you focus on the customer confidence from demonstrating those outcomes, I think that you're going to be much better poised to lead to lead the pack, going forward.
Yeah, that's great. And the customer experience, yeah, all around, that's really what matters. That's what we all want for with everything that we do. We want the experience to be great. And when it's not, there's bad reviews and all these other things that kind of coattail.
Right.
But yeah, so overall, Kelly, where can people find you and get a hold of you?
Yeah, for sure. We're really active on LinkedIn. You can check us out, Mainstay Digital. I think it's at Mainstay Digital, on the trail. Um, Connect with me. My profile is Kelly J Massad. There's a couple of Kellys out there, couple Kelly Massads, believe it or not. But yeah, Kelly J Massad on LinkedIn. We're constantly posting to YouTube, constantly showing off some of the stuff that we're doing on LinkedIn. So give us a follow, a like, interact with our stuff. We'll see you out there.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kelly, for joining us. We really
Hey, you got it.
appreciate it. And this was really, really insightful. So thanks for being here.
Appreciate
And
it.
and
Yeah,
that'll do
thanks
it
for having me.
for what was that?
I said thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Of course. And so that'll do it for our episode here at for Executive Intelligence, where we talk about business leadership and how it meets artificial intelligence, AI. So we'll see you next time. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Dagen here. If you're seeing me talking to you right now, that means that this commercial ad spot is vacant and it's available for your company in your area. It will only show to your area. So please contact us today at dagenmedia.com if you're interested in becoming a sponsor.